How is artificial intelligence used in education? I help companies use AI in practice. I help them rethink their business model and their strategy. And education is one of the areas where AI will make a massive impact. What is really important to understand is that AI is not a threat to teachers. It's not there to replace teachers, but it's there to deliver a better education to our children, to make this whole experience better for kids and for teachers. To some extent, AI helps us to rethink our whole education system and how it is delivered. I believe that we need a much more hybrid model where we basically get the best out of our artificially intelligent enabled systems and our teachers. For me, when the kids spend time in school with the teacher, they should be focusing on their creativity. They should be exploring things. They should discuss things and build their communication skills. They need to problem solve. So all of these things, I think, are vitally important. At the same time, we can bring in artificial intelligence to give us sometimes a more differentiated and more individualized learning experience. Because if you think about this, there are companies like Content Technologies and Carnegie Learning that are developing these platforms, these learning platforms that enable AI-driven learning, testing, and feedback that students will get. Think about an app, for example, that enables you to learn math. So there's Thinker Math, for example, an app that will track student progress. They will really identify areas that you're not particularly good at, and they will then emphasize, they will provide more learning on them. So the speed of every individual student can be customized. And this is something that a teacher simply can't do with a classroom of 20 or 30 children. We are already used to using these kind of approaches in language learning, where we have tools like Duolingo and Babbel that basically allow hundreds of thousands of people to learn languages at their own pace. It will accelerate learning speeds or decelerate them and focus on certain areas that the AI will observe where they need more support. And if you then combine some of this learning where some of the very basic knowledge transfer that teachers have to do, you can outsource some of this to AI and then actually make the role of the teacher much more exciting, where they can spend time with students to do the really human, the interactive, the creative part of the learning bit. So using artificial intelligence in education also enables us to potentially give universal access to learning. In the same way that we can use these apps in our schools, you can make them available worldwide in any language, and any student anywhere in the world can have access to the best language learning, the best math tutoring, and so on. And artificial intelligence allows us to outsource some of the administrative tasks. We've seen this for a while, that we've had the ability of machines to grade our multiple choice exams, for example. AI has come such a long way. Nowadays we have AIs that can write entire books autonomously, that can summarize entire libraries of books for us. So it is not a big reach for them to also grade written essays for people. So again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to enable teachers to spend more time on the things that they love and outsource some of the more mundane administrative tasks to the artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is hugely relevant to schools, to universities, to any education organizations. And especially as education is now changing to a much more lifelong learning process, it will help us to engage students across their entire life, and we already see this in applications like Coursera and Udemy that offer these MOOCs, these massive online courses, and they are starting to use AI and leverage AI in everything they do. So for me, AI has a real potential to transform teaching and make it better for both students and teachers.